What's up YouTube? It's System Wave, and welcome back to the Rat's Den, and welcome back to Diablo 2 Resurrected on Xbox Series S. So today I wanted to give you guys a character update, talk a little bit about the console state, as well as the Muling system that still exists in Diablo today. With that said, let's just go ahead and talk about the character. So previously I was using a Hammerden slash Smiter, basically a paladin on my last build, and it was really failing against defense versus missile, and I was just tired of dying so much and I couldn't get anywhere in hell without the right gear, and we'll talk a little bit about that later on. But for now, let's talk about the sorceress I'm using. I'm using a Orb Lightning Sorceress, one of my favorite characters in the game, obviously. Let's talk about the gear. So for my armor, I'm using Spoke. I put it in a Cuirass. Fairly easy rune word to make. I found a 2-socket armor. It was low, and the strength rec was also low. But the main thing that we're going to get here is, again, defense versus missile, as well as the all resistances. Right? That's primarily what I use it for. 10 to energy is great, extra mana, and you get some hit recovery. But all in all, I think it's a pretty good. If you can find a higher defense armor to put this in, then you probably want to do it that way. For the shield, I'm using a Rhyme, and again, I like the resistances here. It puts me positive in hell. I have no negative resistances, but they're not the highest, obviously, as well. I like the magic find, and it's partly why I use it. And I also like the cannot be frozen. This is a big thing for me. I don't like to be slowed down. Typically, you don't really get slowed down by anything except for maybe some minor enemies, as well as Bale. For the sword, I'm using just a Spirit. Nice cast rate, of course, +2 to all skills. You know, Spirit, there it is. Everybody knows and loves it. Unfortunately, I don't have a Shaco. I'm using the peasant version. The Peasant Crown Warhat. It's actually not as bad as people might think it is. You know, it's got some okay defense, and you do have a +1 to all skills. Plus, I really do like the run walk, and I like the 20 to vitality and energy, because these apply to the statistics here rather than actually just straight up mana and life, right? That's pretty cool. That's the helmet. I'm using Magic Find gloves. Nothing really special here, just Magic Find, really. Some resist. The reduced poison length by 25% is okay too, but yeah, I don't really tend to get poisoned a lot. Got Nagels here. Nothing, again, just Magic Find here. The belt is a low end. I'm hoping that someday I might drop a, you know, a better belt, basically, than this. Faster cast, another faster cast ring, just for faster cast. That's it. These boots are actually pretty good. I like the 30 to run walk, as well as the magic find, as well as the spread of resistances here, right? So it's actually not too bad. It's a really good pair of boots, I think, for early on until I get a pair of war traps. Finally, the last piece is just a crafted amulet. I'm attempting to, you know, find some amulets here and there. Try to get a +1 sorcerer skills, at least at the very minimum, along with cast and some other stuff, if possible. But I haven't had good luck finding or crafting amulets. On Switch, I only have one thing: is the staff. I use this for Thunderstorm and the 2+ skills. One thing that I'm actually curious about, though, is if it acts like anything like a CTA. I don't think it does. I think for some reason, I guess the reason why I'm saying it doesn't is because when I was leveling and using Blizzard, I would cast on Switch and I wouldn't see the lightning proc until I actually assigned one of my skill slots to Thunderstorm. So I use this to potentially maybe activate the Thunderstorm, but my guess is that it actually doesn't work. And it doesn't act like CTA does, right? For the charms on my inventory, I mostly just have lifers, small lifers. I don't know why this amulet is there, so I have to take that out. yeah, so you know, 14 to life, cold res, some run walk pieces are pretty cool. There's a little magic find, or run walk, and you know, low lives, mana in there for some reason, and you know, mostly just life. Yeah, 21 to life, 16, and of course some lower ones here, faster hit recovery. It's honestly, it's just been whatever I found, and if it's useful, it's useful. It's nothing really special there. The skills, let's talk about those. I put in 1 to Frozen Shield, and everything that adds up to having Frozen Orb first and foremost. I've maxed Frozen Orb, and I've watched another video that says to try to shoot for 130 cold minus to enemy cold resistance, but you know, the base, obviously it's 23, right? 23 is the point of where you can do that, and if you can reach 23 without having to spec so much, then I would advise to do that, because it seems to be working okay. Other than that, the synergy to Frozen Orb is Ice Bolt, so I'm trying to max this as much as possible, which leaves me with some skills on the other side, so I've applied a lot of that into Lightning. I'm actually using Lightning here, because I think you get more damage from lightning than in actually chain lightning. So, but I also wanted to do Thunderstorm just in case, because I like the aesthetic of Thunderstorm for one, and it actually does. I feel like it does a good amount of stutter damage, which means it kind of keeps your enemy at bay. It might be just a little small thing that I noticed, but and I think a lot of other players don't really traditionally spec into Thunderstorm because of the wasted stats, but I like Thunderstorm. I think it's kind of cool. And yeah, so I primarily use lightning on the cold immunes, and if the cold immunes are too strong, I tend to just avoid them in general anyway. But yeah, that's the build. Of course, I got, you know, 1 to teleport and the skills to get there, 1 to warmth. No fire skills at all. I did also put 1 to lightning mastery just so I can get just a little bit of extra damage. It seems to be helping, but I've only spec'd 1. Kind of demonstrate it here a little bit. What I do is switch. I cast my Thunderbolt, and then I cast my armor there. Teleport straight to Chaos. Try to avoid these guys here first because they're pretty tough. And just spam Frozen Orb for the most part. And you can see that traditionally I'm actually kind of fast at run walk, which I really enjoy. Most of the enemies I can actually mow down with Frozen Orb. And this is only at what, level 23, right? So it's not too bad. For any of the cold immunes, I cast just a little bit of static there, and I'll switch out to lightning. Let my Merc take some of the damage. I'll back him up, heal him up if I need to. And a cool tip that I found is you can actually use static field on cold immunes. It'll kind of like stutter them as well, like this. I think I grabbed that field plate there. Yeah, see how it kind of pushes him back like that? That's the static field at work, or the telekinesis, I mean. But yeah, I'm in Hell Chaos and I'm surviving okay. Not too bad, right? So that's one more thing that I wanted to talk about. I mentioned about the hammered in early on, and you can see right now that I have this evasive tactic in Frozen Orb, right? Just kind of using my orb, kind of dodging it. If I need to, I can use a teleport whenever I need to, and that's actually good for the controller. I feel like that's actually better than the PC as far as the controller scheme is concerned, right? But if you're hammered in, it kind of requires you to teleport onto the enemy, right? And then you can cast a couple of hammers. And for that, you actually need pinpoint accuracy, and I would say that, you know, I would say mouse and keys is still desperately needed for this game, and I would even say that mouse and keys is actually more beneficial for having a lobby system altogether, right? Which brings me to my next topic, is the community again. So let's take an exit here. So right now, if I wanted to play an online game, and I really want to play online. I want to play online with others, and say for instance, I'm in hell and I want to play a chaos run. Okay, so I've chosen it. I've chosen the difficulty. I'm gonna raise the limit. And I really wish that I can join in on the hell game chaos run, right? To keep leveling and keep gaining some experience. So let's try to join a game. And right away it's creating the game. I'm the only one in this game. There will be no other player here. Take a look at the party log. It's just me, right? And I think the majority of this is due to the fact that, again, Diablo is just better on PC. Because you have the lobbies, because you have the names of the games right away to choose from. You have the list of games. You want to trade, you can trade. You want to do some Triss runs early on and with your low levels, you can do that. If you want to run Chaos or Bale, you can, because it's named that way. Or if you need Quest, you want to G-Rush, whatever you want it to do. Free drops, even free drops are cool sometimes. You can just hang around in a game and a high level will drop some free for anyone, you know, first come first serve basically. That's how Diablo is, but you can't even do things like that, right? And with the system here, the list of stuff that you have to choose from, it's so very limited to those types of things, to the point where even if you try to choose an act and join in on an act, it's not going to be helpful. So yeah, lobbies. Console needs lobbies, and to better assist those console and lobbies, we need mouse and keyboard support. I will not stop stressing that, and you know, down the line, eventually when I do upgrade to my new computer, I'm probably going to buy Diablo and stay playing Diablo on PC, because that's just the best way to play. If you have your lobbies, you have mouse and keys for more accurate, pinpoint, hammered-in style of teleporting, because that's the way that the hammered-in works. You teleport right on top of the enemy, and you start with a couple of hammers. It's a shame that, you know, we can't do that in the console version. Then again, Orb Sorceress, I'm actually having the most fun I've had with an Orb Sorceress specifically. But when I was using Blizzard, it's kind of the same effect. I wasn't able to cast in the area that I wanted to. I kind of had to guess the range of the Blizzard and then lure the enemy to that range. Whereas on PC, I can mouse in the area that I want to cast, and it would generally spray in that direction for more damage, right? So then it's something, again, that I won't stop talking about it. I'll continue to bring it up as much as I can. Mouse and keyboard, lobbies. It's a big thing in Diablo, not just for consoles. It's a big thing for Diablo, so we really need to bring that to the console community. And the last thing that I wanted to talk about was basically the muling that I'm going through. So as you can see, if I push Y here to go to my character list, I built a whole bunch of mules. But yeah, so as far as muling is concerned, you know, I still feel like an infinite stash would be great, because I do like to collect all like the set items. You can see right here for this paladin here, he's already level 9, and I'm using like 6-piece Saigons as well as some Eisenhearts, and that's a really good early character, and it can probably last up to the end of Bale if you used it correctly. But yeah, I'm still having to create early on a lot of mules. You know, mittens means like gloves and boots. Gem spears, obviously, you know, the gems. This one has like rings and amulets. I've got a shield character here, obviously. Runes here, she's just full of runes. And the inventory still seems to fill up. You know, this is nothing but helmets. And this is nothing but armors, right? So I would advise to still create mules, because, you know, especially if you're magic fine and trying to build up. On PC, it might be a little bit easier to obtain your gear because you can actually trade. But yeah, this is what I'm having to do as far as I'm still having to mule for myself because I have no one to trade with. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. Hope you enjoyed the walkthrough and the update of the characters, the discussion of the mules, along with a little bit of community update and what I feel. Of course, how I feel about mouse and keyboard. I'll continue to always say that Diablo 2 needs mouse and keyboard. It's not the consoles, it's Diablo 2, and Diablo 2 happens to be on consoles. So we need that support. For Hammerdens, please, for Hammerdens. And for pinpoint accuracy. That's what it's about. It's about the pinpoint accuracy, and you know, the luxury of having the interface. You know, I do enjoy seeing the PC version with the classic interface. Rather, this one is a little bit more disconnected. You know, still relates, and I'm still able to control and get the job done. But I don't want to just get the job done. I want to do it efficiently, and I want to do it fast. You know. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the video, and we'll see you in the next one.